Leos, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Leos, holy shit, we got a lot of cards. Okay, we have the dead end, the desert, the empty room, the mother, the mountain, the forest, the kiss, the mystic, and the king. Leos, well, I guess I just kind of want to go with this idea of an identity, right? Because the mother is the idea of finding your identity through your children. And when you cling to that identity, your identity becomes very limited because their identity is not your identity. And I almost feel like this illusion of identity, like this, well, mirage, because a mirage is every time you reach out to touch it, it's not there. You know what I mean? I mean, the mirage is so, uh, you know, like you just feel like you can reach through it, you know? And what a lost sense of identity if you feel like every time you're reaching for it, you get trapped in something different. You get trapped in something that's not yours. And what does that mean? And how does that play itself out for any of us individually? Because, um, but I feel like this journey of going within to uncover value. Yes, kind of like the journey of hinds feet on high places, but yes, because you have to go in the mountain. You have to take the path, not the one that's just all easy peasy up the mountainside. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go inside. You have to dig. You have to uncover the value. You have to put in the work. And I feel like this almost dualistic experience of putting in the work, feeling, I think, guided on what to do and where to go and where to look, and I feel like a light in the dark, like a flashlight. And then I feel like you've emerged from this journey with what you needed to get into the high places. Somebody has been reading Hinds Feet on High Places. It's a really good book. Highly recommend. But anyways, it's a good, like, if you feel like you are exhausted and just completely tired with everything that you've been dealing with in life, but you keep dealing with it because you just feel called, it is a fantastic allegory about the experience of the spiritual journey. And the woman who wrote it is a Christian. And so it comes with like the context of Christianity. But the Christians hated her. So it's fine. um, the the value that you glean from this journey, I feel like, is what takes you into this next endeavor. And the kiss to me feels like that. Well, yeah, because she had uh, sorrow and suffering were her companions. But spoiler alert, they are transformed too. And I almost feel like this meeting somebody on the other side of the transformation. Okay, Leos. We transforming. Love. Y'all, I'm so happy. uh, okay. Let's see. All of them are face down and on the floor. The Hanged Man, the Star, the... Oh, shit, hold on. We had a little stack. Okay. So, confusion, repeated patterns, laying things to rest. In terms of all of this, I suppose, because it's hard to know where you're going if you don't understand your value. That makes sense, right? Like I'm not going to be able to engage in an exchange of anything, right? If I don't feel comfortable where I'm at. So people who command attention, people who command energy, people who, even if they don't always, but Leos, you have that command, right? But I feel like there's been this sense of command that comes without action. You know, like you're telling a dog to sit down and the dog just like stares at you. You know what I mean? But I feel like that sense of powerlessness and almost like this, the only way you have power is to get this dog to sit. But the dog won't sit. I don't know. It's just what's coming through. but I, again, Leos, I feel like this like sense of command, and you don't feel like you have control over command, and you feel like this dog has complete control over your ability to command something. But again, I feel like this being guided through like the process of what it means to wield the power of command. Well, sometimes I also, for other Leos, I think that it could be understanding what it means when you, like the power that you wield when you command. You know, like this thin veil of you don't really have the power to command. I almost feel like you command, and wow, they scatter. They come out of everywhere. You know what I mean? You're just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Really? uh, I just feel like they're scared, so they run. Little rats. I don't know. But yeah, like the fearlings, because the fearlings run, you know? But those who have been on the journey together, I just feel like meet each other on the other side. Yeah. Well, because the transforming, the transformation and the transfiguration, that's not a group thing. You know what I mean? Like that's an individual journey. Like you don't get to work on behalf of their souls. They have to work on behalf of their own. You know what I mean? This is not. Yeah. Leos. The Four of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Eight of Swords. Again, I just feel like this. Yeah, I do. I feel like waiting for like the power of my command to take hold. And then I think recognizing a veil, and I just feel like said I death. Because I will never protect anything that creates illusion over my power. I don't know, I just feel like a Leo that is stepping into an energy that, yeah, it does. It does. I don't know, it's just like hanging out. It's a cool analogy, I guess, but it's just the idea that like when the boss shows up, when the owner shows up, when like when you walk into the room and they didn't want to listen to your command, so like they weren't paying attention to what the managers were saying, they weren't paying attention to what the whatever, you know what I mean, and like everybody's just fucking off, and then homie shows up and everybody gets fired. um because I don't know. I don't know, Leos. That depends on you. That depends on your situation. It depends on your circumstance. You know what I mean? Like this can play out in so many different ways. If you have somebody in your community who is just smear campaigning you, and they're smear campaigning you, and you let them smear campaign you just so everybody can see just how willing and ready they are to smear your name, because you want to make sure that they understand what you're dealing with. You know what I mean? If you're dealing with somebody at work who is just, and you're like, okay, keep on. You know what I mean? If you're dealing with somebody in your family who just, and you're like, yeah, keep talking. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's been this sense of command. Like, you can't tell me to stop. You can't tell me to anything. And you're like, okay, like I don't repeat myself. So clean up after the bomb. I feel like there's healing, there's new life, there are transformations, there are new beginnings, there are partnerships. And I don't know, because I feel like these partnerships are people who feel familiar to you somehow. Like they held your hand through this process? Leos. Okay. Honestly, I know a lot of Leos. Truly. All right, Leos. The Queen of Cups, the Two of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Nine of Wands. Well, again, whatever all of that behavior was that kept you feeling like you were just constantly under attack, like you were just constantly feeling some type of way, you know, and making a decision to part ways with that because Leos, you embody so much command, you embody so much power, you know, like why are you gonna sit around and let bottom feeders feed off of top tier royalty material? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know what people are thinking sometimes, you know? But really not my concern to bother myself with that because I'm sure whatever it is, it's very uninteresting. The Destroyer, yeah. Yeah, I do. I just feel like this sense of command. A sense of power. Leos, for a lot of us, there could be partnership. For a lot of us, it could be that there's been somebody who's just been with us for so long. And they've held our hand through a process that was just otherwise horrifying. Because I feel like that energy of being caught in some absurd identity, to steal that from a Leo and then call them prideful and tell them that they're arrogant and blame their ego. Like I just kind of feel like these people are kind of masochistic, if I'm being quite honest. You know, but I feel like you're getting away from these people and you're standing in your power and you're standing in the command of what you, like the power that you embody. And whatever it is that you're destroying, I feel like it has an awful lot to do with this misconstrued sense of identity that people tried to hold you in. Leo as well. I mean, okay. I mean, I always love breaking out. And I always get really frustrated when people try and steal our identities from us. Yeah, I mean, that can play itself out in a lot of ways. People can tell you that you're not ready to do something. And a lot of times that'll happen, like if you experience criticism, you know, so like, oh, you were criticized. Well, you're just not ready to do it yet. Let me give you something else to focus on while you're getting ready. And they know that, like, if they were good mentors, they would say,